How do indie games get noticed? It might sound crazy, but I think the answer is one word: gifs, and I'll explain why. To start, let's talk about phone usage. Smartphone users spend an average of 3 hours and 15 minutes a day on their phone. When people wake up, often the first thing they do is check social media like Reddit, Instagram, and Twitter. They will then check their phone for an average of 51 more times throughout the day. Also, it's sad to say it, but it's not enough to just make a good game anymore. A good practice of realism is to go through itch.io and to browse through the over hundreds of thousands of games where there are actually many that are really great and don't receive any attention. Not only do potential gamers spend more time on social media than they do browsing games on a platform like Steam or itch, but social media is often a more efficient place to see new and interesting releases. While over the course of a couple minutes on Steam, someone could watch one game trailer, someone swiping on Reddit can see 3 different 10-second game gifs, get caught up on current events, and could even be seeing cat and dog pictures in between. While indie games often have little or no budget for advertising, they can't buy ads on these social media platforms like AAA games can, but they do have user-submitted gifs. I actually first learned about the power of gifs with David Wells' GDC talk. This amazingly motivational talk explains how he made his game, The First Tree, as a sole developer while having a full-time job and also doing his own marketing. He described his typical marketing strategy as make a GIF, post a GIF, rinse repeat for 12 months. By creating a mailing list for all the people that were interested in his gifs, he was able to hit the new and trending section of Steam and has sold over 200,000 copies of his game. But this doesn't mean you can make any game, share gifs of it, and succeed. In Nick Popovich's talk, Making Games That Stand Out and Survive, he talked about how indie games should be designed to be shared as a GIF, and that is exactly what he did with Slime Rancher. He puts it as, can your game design fit inside a GIF? While a GIF-centered marketing strategy might be intimidating if you don't have any technical art skills, by playing to your strengths, you can often find your own striking art style. Since I am studying computer science, I have been interested in shaders and other means of procedurally generated visuals. Before the GMTK Game Jam, I was experimenting with edge detection shaders to get this really interesting look. I posted a GIF of this to r/Godot, and it actually got to the front page of the subreddit with 350 upvotes, which I think is just further proof that GIFs on social media are really powerful tools to get attention. This past week, I decided to practice procedural visual generation, and I may have took all this GIF stuff too literally, because instead of doing game dev with Godot, I used Godot to make perfectly looping GIFs. For a few years now, I've been really impressed by the Twitter account Bees and Bombs. The person behind the account is Dave White, who studied physics and applied his math skills by making perfectly looping GIF art with the Java library processing. I always thought that most of these GIFs were way out of my reach, but now that I had more experience coding, I decided to give it a try and recreate something he did with Godot. What I tried to replicate was this cube wave GIF, and this is my recreation of it. What I think is really cool about this GIF is that the visuals are so interesting for such simple behavior. Basically, each cube's vertical scale is determined by a sine function using time as an input with an offset based on the cube's distance to the center. I then increased the amount of cubes to cover the whole screen, added some blur, slowed it down, and used it as a background earlier in this video. Another looping GIF I made and used as a background earlier in the video was this one. This is my first time using Perlin noise, and it came in handy here for making sure that the GIF perfectly repeated itself. Basically, I generated a 2D Perlin texture for both the X and Y coordinate values of all the orbs, and I grabbed values in perfect circles so they would always wrap around back to the beginning. For the combining GUI lighting effect, I used the marching square algorithm discussed in this blog post, which I'll put in the description. These have been really fun to make, and I want to continue making more like them. I actually started an Instagram to post these GIFs, so you can check them out there and see future ones I post. That's about it for this video. I have really been enjoying the process of writing, making content and editing these videos. I will aim to keep putting out a new video every week, so stay tuned for the next one.